Welcome back here to Highfields Sports Complex in Nottingham, the home of the Touch World Cup for 2024. Men's Open action here between Tonga and Ireland. James Preston and Kate Davis-Bavin to bring you all the action. I think this is set to be another close encounter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a treat we just had with the USA-France game. And yeah, two big sides here going head-to-head. And it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top in this first set of 6.
So Ireland getting first use of the ball, but only momentarily. They'll last just one play here and turn it over with an incorrect roll ball. So some early game jitters here for the Irish as Tonga now working upfield. Morgan Tafia spreading it wide here in Tuiono. Now into enemy territory. Morgan Tafia popping in and acting half. Little dummy coming about here from Pahulu. Morgan Tafia again, out on his left-hand side. Quick cycle of the footy back towards the middle of the field, just looking to engage the Irish defensive line as Morgan Tafia picks up and darts. And they've done enough here to earn another set.
Yeah, lovely. So Tonga will be looking to really capitalise on this right now and just take their time with it, really. They've got another set of 6 here. They can play around with it a little bit, condition those Irish defenders. And again, just looking to pull them out. Looks like they're starting to run a sweeper play here with the step back and really well intercepted and held there by Ireland. And they've got a crack at getting across to their box now.
Ireland working it forward up towards halfway. Now rolled here, nice and quickly for Layden. Layden popping in and acting half as they continue driving forward here for O'Connell. And then scooped up on the last here for O'Donnell. O'Donnell sending it wide, trying to put on the afterburners there was Dorenzi, but easily taken care of. And for those just tuning in, Tonga emerging as genuine contender here in terms of getting to that next stage of the competition. They really gave Fiji a lesson on day 2, winning 8-4 there when probably a lot of people would have had Fiji penciled in as a potential winner before that match got underway.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, but Ireland are really not making it easy for them to get up out of their half at the moment. Brilliant midfield defence there from Ireland, and we've got another attempt at the line from halfway here. Plenty of room to work with.
Now O'Connell receives it back here. Just slowing things down momentarily for Mac Gerald, and now having a little crack at the line is O'Donnell, but losing his footing in the process and as a result falling well short. O'Donnell still an option here on this left-hand side. He says, let's turn it back to O'Connell though. And now scooped up here from Mac Gerald, who goes wide early, looping back around and nearly squeezing through a very small gap before Natta closed it. It was a close run thing there for O'Connell.
Yeah, lovely bit of play there. Didn't quite come off for them, but yeah, you could see the vision, you could see it building. So still all to play for in these, first couple of minutes into the game.
So driving upfield now at Tonga. No change to the score as of yet. After around about 3 minutes of play, Ireland ping there for a little bit of extra attention in the ruck itself. So another set to come here for Tonga, and they've probably had the better of the field position so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they've been. I think there's been a couple of errors really and penalties that Ireland have given away, especially in the danger zone really, for Tonga to capitalise on definitely.
Talau Brown out to here for Davison. Davison gets it quickly back to Talau Brown. Good read in the end there from Ireland. It was a lovely little touch made from Foster. So they'll come back to that 7-metre mark. Davison backpedaling here. Now looking to launch himself rapidly at the line, but once more O'Connell standing tall and making the touch.
Yeah, again, really good defensive set there from Ireland, and like you say, really well read, especially out there on that wing. Got to make that split-second decision, and he made it really well twice. Really strong touches here, and really good defensive touch there from Tonga, and it's gone their way.
So Tuiono plays it now as it comes wider still here for Talau Brown. Davison upping in and acting half. Nice quick recycle of the footy. Digging into the line as well here, Tonga. Asking a few questions as they drop it down now. Around about 15 metres shy of the try line. Morgan Tafia sends it here for Masilla. Masilla wrapping around here with Morgan Tafia. They're looking to operate down a short side and then threading the needle back towards the middle. The touch was made just in time though, so Back to the 7 they go. Morgan Tafia taking off, brings it right to the line. Once more, great shape and defence, though, from the Irish.
Yeah, absolutely. They are not really giving Tonga anything to work with here, and but they're trying to exploit those little gaps that are appearing, but it's not quite coming off. Really well read by Ireland, and it looks like we're being brought back here for a penalty.
So the Irish getting replacements onto the field with that little opportunity to restart things, and that one has hit the deck. They had a little look themselves, the Irish, at the referee, and they probably gave themselves away.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there, but again, good honesty, I suppose.
Don't know if we can count a sly look as honesty these days, but they haven't got away with it, so all is well in the world of the touch footy gods as Morgan Tafia and Masilla operate through this middle. Masilla now with the ball, little dummy here for Morgan Tafia. Masilla brings it right to the line. Oh, lovely pass from Masilla. Directly on the spot was Carlin Brown. And I'll tell you what, that isn't Brown, that's goal from Tonga.
Yeah, what an absolutely lovely play here. Colin Brown, you can see him in position, looking to hit that hole, and that gap is just there. Parts like the Red Sea, and he's straight in there.
So after nearly 6 minutes of play, finally, we have a scorer here. It was high-octane stuff from the get-go in our previous match here on Highfields 3 between the USA and France. Ultimately, France running out 9-8 victors in that occasion. But Tonga, they waited a little bit of time to become the first scorer here. Now Ireland with a fresh set to work with from that 7-metre mark. Chance to get one back themselves as O'Connell receives it. Backpedaling, and then up step Talau Brown and did enough to force the issue.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. They had that fresh set of 6, couldn't quite make it work, and some really good yards coming here from this midfield attack that we're seeing. Just waiting to get reinforcements coming on at the moment, and the pace is slowed ever so slightly, and there's some discussion being had here.
I think this should go against Tonga here. They came barging into the defensive line with the arms crossed and really flung out at the defender. There's handshakes all around. I might even just say mutual infringement in the end, but I had to pick one of them. It would have been Tonga, who was probably the key aggressor there. It was very much like, for anyone that watched the State of Origin yesterday, Jerome Luai and Daly Cherry Evans having a little crack at each other. But here come Tonga once more, and then simply floating a pass into the hands of the Irish. That's an easy turnover.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, they've been quite good at getting those turnovers, but just got to keep that ball safe as they're trying to get across to their box there. Unfortunately, letting Tonga off the hook a little bit, and they can have another crack at the line here.
So 7.5 minutes gone as now Tui Ono flings it away to the middle of the field. Here for Masilla, bouncing around on that 7-metre mark. Ireland stepping up and making the touch. Mahu Tariki Fakalelu hopping in and acting half once more here. Mahu Tariki Fakalelu brings it forward to the 7. No real urgency about this set here from Tonga, though. They're happy to just bounce around, and they've done absolutely nothing with the ball in the end. That's probably one of the worst sets of the game so far. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate there. It didn't really seem like they had much direction and weren't really executing what they were trying to do. And it's giving Ireland the opportunity to get some serious yards up this up their box wing, and they've kept hold of it now. Flow continuing here for Ireland as they now drop it down. Last play here with a staggered defensive line. They'll go all the way through, looking for support, finding it in the form of Durenzi, and he is in a frenzy after that one. We're locked up at 1 try apiece after 8.5 minutes. This is a lovely scoop in play, just cutting across, getting that ball down, and really just putting the burners on. He knows the support is there, and yeah, Ireland will be really happy with that, getting a score on the door about 9 minutes in now. And this next 60 seconds will be really important for them to try and keep Tonga from executing their tap-off move and get another gain on them. You would just like to see a little bit more urgency from Tonga once they get down that end of the field. The last few sets have left plenty to be desired, but Davison out there might correct things for them. He's been very sharp in this tournament so far as they continue driving forward now, Tonga. Brown, who's already got 1 try to his name in this match, sends it out here for Satani. Now Davison, scooping up. Doesn't like what he sees. He'll redirect here to try and work with a strike dump. Davison, good footwork, and now brings it right to the line. Oh, dummied everyone. Fooled the cameraman even, and then comes out with a flick pass. That was nearly very sharp work there from Davison.
Yeah, that was lovely. Fooled me for sure, but yeah, not quite come off. But it's promising to see what Tonga are sort of putting out there, and we'll see if they can start completing a little bit more. This lovely Irish flow-in attack again.
I think they'll be pinged there for a touch pass though, a little bit late to release on that occasion, so one try apiece it remains after a quarter of this match. It's an interesting contest here. I think Tonga probably look a little bit smoother with the ball working upfield, but tends to come apart outside of Davison once they hit that 7.
Yeah, it looks like Ireland have a pretty set plan, and they are executing it when they are getting up there. But yeah, I think a little bit more. It looks like Tonga are a little bit more confident on the ball. And that is unfortunate there, just a ball down. And not giving Ireland much to work with there, though, killing it in the correct corner.
So Morgan Tafia, his pass hitting the deck there, and now Ireland working away from their own end. Strong touch coming in from Tonga. One of the more physical teams here in the Touch World Cup 2024. So great to have it back on the world stage here in Nottingham. 5 years we've had to wait. Previous tournament out in Malaysia, and then of course 2015 in Australia at Coffs Harbour, where of course there was a whole heap of rain to try and contend with. Fortunately it stayed away on day 3 and so far for day 4 as well, as Tonga marching back upfield once more. Davison is out there. Rolled back here from Moses Puru. Puru drops it down. Now Davison taking off with a nice change of pace, sending it all the way out to this left-hand side. Tulahi, nowhere to go though. Ireland jam in and make the touch. Davison orchestrating things here. Wants them to work towards the middle. Dropping it down now on the last. Davison once more, watch for the dancing feet. They also need to watch for that wide pass, and it's gone well and truly out of the grasp there of Tulahi.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Lovely show of pace though from Tonga there in their line attack, but not quite got that final pass off, and the gaps weren't quite there. So Ireland looking to get up to their box again. Safe hands. You know, Tonga really not making it easy for them on this wing.
So Lever sent that one back towards the middle. He's actually playing for the Balmain Touch Club out in Australia, so a bit of a heavy Irish contingent from Balmain here in this side, and had to make a play to there. Tulahi, he's denied a try in the end there for Leyden, who was completely unmarked out on the wing, so a really good read there. Yeah,
absolutely, and it's always a fine balance. It's a bit of a high risk, high reward situation there, you know, choosing whether to knock that down, but in that instance, definitely the correct decision to try and get the ball in flight.
So now Balance brings it forward, plays it on the 7. Balance once more, operating down a short side. Another good read here between the link and wing. Tulahi working very hard on this left-hand edge. It's a real stalemate developing here between Tonga and Ireland.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate there in the in Ireland's attack. You know, they had the touches there. They could have just taken a little bit longer, a little bit more time on the ball to just control the pace a little bit more, letting Tonga off the hook a bit, and giving them the opportunity to come on at such pace here.
Yeah, good metres on offer here for Tonga as Masilla turns it back now towards Tupou, but it was a forward pass. And they're onto it very quickly there, the officials. So 6.5 to go in this first half. Very tough to separate them. A little bit of contrasting styles though. Ireland probably a little bit more composed in how they're approaching things. Tonga slightly more flamboyant, but a lot of errors as well coming in for Tonga. And Ireland work it beautifully out to this left-hand side. What a pass that is. And that's really come out of nowhere for them.
Yeah, that was a lovely ball there. Like we've been seeing, they seem to have this very structured coming on, subbing on move, and that is perfectly executed. Just looking for that miss pass there. Link hole getting hit as well, and yeah, lovely to see that come off for Ireland.
A ripping pass there from O'Donnell. He was the man who set it up. And now for the first time in this match, Tonga find themselves behind. 2 tries to 1. It's Davison brings it forward now. Morgan Tafia. Mahu Tariki Whakalelu. Davison. It's a very slow approach here from Tonga. They're not really asking any questions, and they've got to start stepping forward. They're not even close to the 7. Davison once more pulling up on the run though, so there's no flow here at all from Tonga. Davison now floats a little pass for Carlin Brown once more, trying to squeeze through. And yes, they asked a question at the end, but given they tapped off from halfway, I think there's a lot to be desired about that set.
Yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate. Like we were saying, it just seems like they haven't quite got the structure on the line. They're playing some really good heads-up touch, but Ireland are doing really well to defend them out there, and that is unfortunate there. That is a ball down there in the ruck for Ireland.
So Morgan Tafia floats it out now. Touch is made here on Davison. Davison floating about, once more stepping up. Here's Bewley. Asila off the left foot, straightens now. Mahu Tariki, Makalelu, dropping it down as now Natta at speed takes off. Oh, great footwork there from Natta, who then popped it back on the inside. Lever was on the spot though and took it easily. So once more, Tonga come unstuck in that final 7. Perhaps just overcomplicating things a touch there.
Yeah,
I'd like
potentially.
to see them go for a slightly more direct option.
Yeah, potentially. Just using those touches and just getting that platform right, just having that extra little bit of comms so everyone sort of knows what's going off. As we can see is happening here in this Irish attack, that is unfortunate there. I thought there might have been a bit of Tongan interference in that, but...
I was thinking how cynical that was from the Irish, trying to pass it directly into a man who was already retreating. That's straight out of the Cameron Smith playbook. So 2-1 here. Ireland still in front. It's been a strange game at times here in the opening 16 minutes, but a long way to go still. It's now into enemy territory they come. Drop down here from Brown. Now Tuiono. On a charge up through the middle. Satani. Tuiono once more hopping in and acting half, and now Tupou. Tupou picking up out of dummy half once more, floating over the top. Oh, nearly got it right on that occasion. A good read from the Irish though.
Yeah, absolutely, and right idea though from Tonga. I think just again it was just that final last little pass didn't quite come off, but it was the right option, and the Irish do get another opportunity to execute this pretty slick subbing on move that we're seeing.
Lever an option on that left-hand side. Now De Silva brings it forward. De Silva once more in support here, receives it right on that 7-metre mark. It's interesting little matchup here. I think structurally Ireland probably look better, but in terms of just sheer athleticism, you'd probably say Tonga have the slight advantage there in terms of speed and physicality. Yeah,
absolutely. They're looking very physical, very fierce coming on and off that pitch. They're running with some serious purpose. It's looking like there's a bit of a conversation being had there, but it's been brought back, and Ireland have the penalty here.
Saliva now hopping in at acting half and pops a little pass here for Phelan. Phelan, a couple of dummies, eventually caught there. Lever drops it down now for Bewley. Lever once more having a little look at the line. He does have a very good long ball in his arsenal, Lever, but yet to really pull it out in the opening 18 minutes. Now to this right-hand side, they'll bring it to Lever. Lever floats it back towards the middle. Quick roll ball now. Once more taking off here. Little dummy comes in, and Morgan Tafia is there on the spot, makes the touch. And this stalemate continues here between these two sides.
Yeah, lovely touch there. Really well read in the midfield defence. On the line there, sorry. And yeah, Tonga again, we just see this athleticism and this pace coming on. They're really getting those yards easily, but not quite executing at the line.
It's more of the same, really, isn't it? They can get themselves up this end of the field well, but it's just the expertise in the finishing department that they just haven't quite mastered as of yet. So now Lever brings it up over halfway, and O'Donnell leaving it behind here. So now inside the final minute, it's a game that hasn't really got out of second gear.
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, we saw them coming at each other pretty hard in the first couple of minutes, but yeah, it's looking pretty evenly matched. Like we're saying, they've got very different playing styles, these two teams, but it's be interesting to see going forward into the second half what gets fixed and where it goes from there, really.
Davison ripping it long, great ball there, but well read from Ireland. I'll try and get on with things quickly here though, Tonga. Davison once more. Oh, look at the dancing feet popping out. Frank Sinatra, John Travolta, you name it. Anyone that can bust a move, Davison is in that category as well. And with 10 seconds to go, Ireland shut it down. But you fancy if it is to happen for Tonga, it probably comes off the back of Davison.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was a lovely bit of like heads-up touch, really. They were playing there, and really well read by number 15, the Irish winger, Forster. But yeah, going into half-time, there'll be some conversations to be had, I think, and see how they can adapt. Obviously, two very different playing styles, like we were saying, and maybe that's playing into it a little bit.
Let's see if they can make the necessary calibrations, both these teams at the half-time break, to try and go on with this. Tonga still, of course, in the contest, just a one-try margin here. It's a low-scoring game, and plenty of opportunities should be presented in the second half. Let's see how it all plays out at the break. 2-1, Ireland leading Tonga. We'll take a very short break here for the Touch World Cup, England 2024.
And I'm representing the Hydex programme, which is one of the sponsors of the Touch Rugby World Cup. Hydex is a collaboration of a number of universities based in the Midlands, including the University of Nottingham. One of Hydex's main aims is to support industry to innovate, developing new products and services in the hydrogen economy. We decided to sponsor the Touch Rugby World Cup, particularly in relation to energy use, so that Geopura, a locally based business, can provide hydrogen to be utilised at the event, making the event more sustainable and improving air quality for visitors and competitors alike. We hope this support will encourage others to look for more sustainable ways to run similar events in the future. Finally, just to say, we hope everyone that's involved in the event has a great time. Thank you.
I love Nottingham, the home of Robin Hood. From the bright lights of Goose Fair to the peaceful nature of the Sherwood Forest woods. There's a feeling of togetherness, unity, pure, honest, love. And that feels great like a bright summer's day at the horses down by the lake at Colic. All I love Nottingham. The River Trent, the embankment, the Nottingham Carnival, different cultures dancing. The diversity, just walking down Columbus Street on a Saturday. The two lions in the square stand tall with pride. And when the markets in town come alive, it gives me life. Listen, as the council house clock chimes, and depending on how many times, lets you know the time. I've been to concerts at the Motorpoint Arena, and I've been to concerts at the Nottingham Caves. I've been here all my life and I'm still amazed by this place. I love Nottingham. Sometimes I stare at Hockley's graffiti colourful walls, and sometimes I gaze at the deers running around Woollerton Hall. Supreme thrills, from chilling up at Green's Mill or up at that castle on the hill. Nottingham, I love you, and I always will.
Visit Nottingham today.
Welcome back here to Nottingham for the Touch World Cup 2024 Men's Open Division. Half-time here between Ireland and Tonga. An intriguing contest unfolding here. Two very contrasting styles. A lot of athleticism and physicality about Tonga, but not quite the same control and composure that the Irish have displayed.
Yeah, definitely. It'd be interesting to see, coming off the back of the first half, what changes are potentially being made, and if Tonga can look to complete their sets on the line, because that's where they've sort of been lacking a little bit here. And doesn't appear to be the case in this first set of 6, but we've still got 20 minutes to go. And Ireland have a crack at getting across their sub-box and getting some really good yards here up the midfield.
Par for the course, unfortunately, for Tonga. Another error early in the count on the line. It's now Ireland work it upfield with relative ease here. They're all backpedaling, Tonga, so a good opportunity now brewing for the Irish. They head out to this right-hand side. Dummies left, right and centre, trying to find a little pass back towards a supporting player. Tonga were marking up very closely, and a touch is made there in the end, but also just grabbing one of the supporting Irish who are coming through. So another set to work with here for Ireland.
Yeah, really well played there from Ireland, and really well read, just getting through, forcing those errors, and getting that fresh set of 6 for them to have another crack at the line.
Here's Lever switching the emphasis. Lovely draw and pass, well read in the end though from Moses Puru, who had to jam in and make that touch. Otherwise it was real danger signs for Tonga. So now they play it about 7 metres away. Having a little crack himself there was James O'Donnell. He's already scored on one occasion here, or should I say set up one try for the Irish. Wanted one himself there. He'll come back to the mark now. Rolls it back. Out to this right-hand side. Phelan there in support. Phelan picking it up. Good footwork, bouncing around. Phelan, it actually opened up the space there. Lever probably just had to stay straight, and he would have strolled over.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. But again, we're seeing this Irish team really creating those opportunities there. It's just that final pass. But looking really promising, and they're coming out with quite a structured set plan by the looks of things, and they are somewhat executing it.
So Morgan Tafia now, good metres from him. So he gradually operates towards the middle. Mahu Tariki Fakalelu now with it. Pops it back here for Morgan Tafia. Now Mahu Tariki Fakalelu. Morgan Tafia bouncing off the left foot. Nowhere for them to go though. The Irish kept a very high pressing line on that occasion.
Yeah, they're not giving Tonga that much to work with at all. And this is looking like Ireland are really controlling the pace and dominating this game these first 2 minutes in.
So good metres here from the Irish too. They've got Tonga backpedaling once more. It's been an inspired start to this second half. Natta, however, probably the quickest player on the field, got across and made the touch for them. Diminutive in stature, but just electric. Once he turns on the afterburners as Davison sends it out wide. Now Morgan Tafia, a nice straight run here, but the Irish once more getting up very quickly and jamming in as they look to work for this subset. They'll keep promoting the footy, last one now, but they'll only play it just inside Ireland's half. They'll keep it alive though, Tonga, so not a bad spot to turn over the ball in the end, but a great defensive set from Ireland.
Really good defensive set there, and that really started down the other end as well, getting up in that high press position, really not giving the Tongan players anything to work with. And yeah, just trying to keep the pace on, coming onto the pitch here. Really getting good meters from this subbing on move.
A scything run there from Ireland, and now De Silva drops it back on the inside. Little pass here for balance. De Silva popping it down. Last one now here for Ireland, who take off, but the outstretched arms there of Brown makes the touch. And after 4 minutes of action in the second half, there's no change to the scoreboard.
Yeah, Ireland looking really dangerous on that line. They look like they want to get over it. Tonga not quite responding with the same energy, unfortunately, at the moment. Again, we're seeing this really strong drive and the athleticism being displayed by the Tongan players here, but not quite seeing the changes happening in this. And again, really great midfield defence here from Ireland. Just getting up and not giving them anything to work with. They're on their halfway line still and trying to inject that pace again.
They seem to have them a little bit rattled here, the Irish. It's good defensive pressure, and now they'll drop it down on the last here. Tonga. Davison, however, looks dangerous. Oh, I'm not so sure that De Silva got back the required 7 in time, and that's what Davison was running at him for. Might have had a case.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Tonga, but now they've, a little bit offside there maybe, saying I'm not making the touch, don't ping me for it. And again, Ireland coming on. Tonga not quite adapting and giving that high press, and giving them their meters.
Ireland now firing a pass out to this left-hand side. It's an inspired start here to the second half for the Irish, and there was a fan in the background who's gone up a little bit too prematurely there for the Irish. That was never going to be called through as a try. There's numbers all over the place there for Tonga as they look to work it forward. So 5 minutes down in the second half, and Ireland have grown in stature. Tonga struggling to meet their pace at the moment as Nata look to change things up here. Mahu Tariki Fakalelu now with ball in hand. Pops it over the top here for Nata. Nata had Morgan Tafia there. Last one now, and a static start as well for Tonga as Morgan Tafia takes off with a little dummy, nearly squeezes through. But Ireland once more have all the answers.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think that really is testament to Ireland's defence there. That real high press, those middles are working so hard to get up there and really disrupt any plans that Tonga have in their subbing on move. And again, exploiting that wing. Number 14 there, getting up there.
Some meters now on offer for the Irish as they head into enemy territory. Picked up and scooped here from Ireland. A couple of dummies coming out too. Nata got there in time and makes the touch. I'll come back to this 7 metre mark now. There might be a penalty involved as well, you'd have to imagine. There's a few players who are struggling to get back on side. No, they'll say play through in the end, or play on I should say. As it comes out here for O'Connell. Short pass for Lever, who just hasn't really clicked into gear. He can be such a weapon, Kyle Lever, but yet to really see him explode in this match.
Yeah, that was unfortunate there. Nice 33 setup for Ireland, but not quite come off, and looks like some conversation is being had here again.
So Tonga with another penalty here, just 10 shy of the halfway line. Might be a forced sub as well. Unfortunately for Lever, it's all going wrong for him at the moment.
Yeah, that's not ideal, so Ireland will be scrambling a little bit. This is a really good opportunity here for Tonga to exploit that slightly scattered Irish defence that has been so strong in these first few minutes of this half.
Well, here they go straight away. Brown with a couple of dummies and then taking off. Good touch made here from the Irish. It was Kieran Byrne who got there just in time. Tupou at first receiver. Now for Sitani. Sitani rolls it down, but very scrappily. And there's another turnover here from Tonga.
Yeah, unfortunate there. That was a real good opportunity for them to even the scoreboard, and Ireland really looking to a bit of a collision there, and it's giving 6 again. There's a Tongan hand to that there, and again giving Ireland just a fresh set of 6 about at halfway.
So Layden entering the action as well. He'll hop on at that right wing position. So they send it back towards the middle now, the Irish. Balance dropping it off. Now hops in at acting half. Once more, an awkward little play the ball there. The bobble was pretty obvious to the referees, and it's another turnover just as it was building here for the Irish. So certainly have been in fine touch driving upfield, but it's falling apart in that final 7, whereas for Tonga, haven't really clicked into gear in any fashion, whether it be the drive or the finish as of yet. They keep moving forward now. Can this be where it all turns for them? Morgan Tafia, great footwork, puts on the afterburners. Morgan Tafia popping a little pass. Oh, great cover there in the end from Ireland. It was Fergus Flood who makes the touch, and score remains at 2-1.
Yeah, lovely cover and defence there, but we really got a taste there of Tonga actually putting on those burners and trying to get through. Maybe that little bit of flair that we were talking about, and it was good to see, but not quite down, unfortunately.
Well, that's the blueprint for Tonga, though. Just hit nice and direct at speed. They've got Ireland for pace. They seem to be doing a lot of lateral movement when the simple option is to just cut it up through the middle. So now they keep cycling the hands here with a quick little release, and now Nata left with nowhere to go. Morgan Tafia back out there now. Promotes the footy out on this left-hand side to Nata. Play number 4 now. Morgan Tafia drops it down. Here's the last one. No, they'll get a penalty on the last. That's a real coach killer.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure the Irish Middles are too happy about that call, but Tonga have it again, and this will be interesting to see what they can do with this set of 6 here.
So Morgan Tafia now bouncing around. Little pass here. Mahu Tariki Fakalelu goes long, but it's gone forward.
That is unfortunate there. I mean, right idea. They did have the touches. You don't need to always be going for that wing ball, but yeah, they sort of let Ireland off the hook a little bit there. Yeah, giving them another opportunity to get some really decent yards. And again, they've gifted it back to them. Nice of the Irish to do so.
So Morgan Tafia now searching for a try here. Tonga. Masila trying to squeeze through a gap. Was Puru, but Moses can't part the seas. And that will be the turnover here once more. So a lot of errors here for Tonga in this second half. If they can just hold on to the ball, you fancy their chances.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just those little, again, what we were talking about at half time, those little errors, those, you know, those things you can quite easily fix. They're things that you can control yourself as a player, as a team, and just not quite executing them.
Balance now goes out the back here for Ireland, and still a little bit slippery underfoot. Yes, it was sunny yesterday and to start this morning, but with heavy rain on the opening 2 days, the grounds are doing their best to hold up, but it is a little bit slippery underfoot as we come inside the final 9 minutes here. Ireland with another try given how this contest has unfolded. That could apply a whole heap of pressure there, and Davison screaming at the referee, saying where's the penalty, and then forthcoming there. So Tonga survive once more. They need to get a try on the board here, though.
Yeah, they absolutely do. It's sort of been stagnating a little bit here, and just need to inject that pace that we were sort of seeing. And been a little bit scattered, I think, coming on to on for their sub-in on move. I think that is testament to Ireland's defence there, and they're really shutting them down. So but it looks like they're getting some decent meters here.
Talau Brown drops it down. There is another turnover here for Tonga, so yet again they have no opportunity to launch a raid on the Irish line. And it's now a real try-scoring drought for them. 26 minutes since they've crossed the try line. We'll come all the way back up here to the 7 for 7 on the field. So it's just those little 1%ers at a World Cup shouldn't be getting pinged for 7 on the field.
Yeah, exactly. It's sort of basic box management as well there. You know, knowing when your respective player is coming off and when you can go on, it's an easy fix.
So Ireland bouncing around, but that ball bouncing out of the arms and into Tonga's hands. So fresh set to work with as Tui Ono brings it forward. Now to Lau Brown on the charge, and once more Tonga just gifting possession here to Ireland. I don't know how many hairs are on the coaching staff, but I think they would have pulled a fair few of them out.
I think you might be right. Again, these little errors, and you know, it's frustrating. They're trying to get off and get a really good platform for their subs coming on, and again, it gives Ireland that opportunity. They've got their fresh legs on, just running the clock up a little bit as well here, and taking their time, controlling the pace. You can see them having that conversation there, planning this strike move.
Phelan out of acting half. And then Ireland turning it over on play number 1 here. Sort of frustrating second half for both sides in many ways. As now Puru works it forward. Good meters here on the back of that run from Satani. Masila follows up in like kind. Ooh, tough one to take there, and a quick roll ball. I'm not sure he actually got it to ground correctly, but play on for now. Davison brings it forward. Morgan Tafia. They're just scattered here, Tonga. They didn't need to panic. They had 2 more plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I think maybe a little bit of panic setting in coming into the final quarter of this match, but just really need to stay composed here. They're letting Ireland get so many yards.
Phelan drawing and passing now, finding an opportunity out wide, and they will get across here. Ireland punish Tonga there. Ill-disciplined turning over the ball, and then Phelan opened up a little bit of space, and Layden was on the spot. Ireland get their third, and now it's really quite a mountain to climb for Tonga.
Really lovely draw and pass there. That's the kind of play, you know, sort of expecting to see from Tonga there. And Ireland maybe giving them a bit of a taste of their own medicine, and yeah, really lovely heads-up touch being played.
So now they must come away with points here, Tonga. Time very much running out, just over 5 minutes remaining. As Brown plays it to Lau Brown, now in an acting half. Drops it down. Masilla engaging the line. Oh, Ireland wanted the intercept. Knocked down by Sean Balance. And another set to come here for Tonga. They'll try and get the fresh troops out there. You'd imagine that Davison will be one of them. He's looked very likely for them. And yes, there he is now back into the fold. So keep an eye on the number 9 here for Tonga, Davison. Masilla, dummies a couple of times. Once more back to Masilla, throwing long early. They've gone for the direct option, and the pass has gone forward. So again, no patience here from Tonga.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. You know, they've got the touches on the line. They can just take a little bit of time and, you know, condition that Irish defence, and then, you know, after those first few touches, then look to go long. And but they're favouring that long ball. It's just not quite paying off for them.
It's a great point you raise about conditioning the defence. Just take a couple of plays in the middle, condense that line, and then look to spread as now Lever takes off here for Ireland. Finds a lovely ball. We've been waiting for Lever to leave his mark on this game. He does so on this occasion, and that might be the try that seals it here for Ireland.
Yeah, absolutely lovely here. This has come off from their subbing on move. Just picking up, going on the outsides, got the support runners there. Lovely bit of momentum that's taken them through for that try.
So second one here for Luke Dorenzi, beautifully sent up from Kyle Lever. And now Tonga, if it was a tough assignment before, it's just about impossible now. Essentially, this set needs to result in a try if they are any chance. Morgan Tafia at first receiver, well marked up there once more. He'll play it inside the 7. Morgan Tafia loses his footing. Ireland step up, and at 4-1 with just over 3 minutes remaining, they're just about home here, the Irish.
Yeah, they'll really be looking to control the pace of this game here, like they mostly have been doing really for this half. But they're in a very comfortable position here, Ireland, if they can keep it steady and keep doing what they're doing, really.
Little bobble there, let go though from the officials as Dorenzi is still an option towards the middle. Balance, dumbing left, right and centre. Flicks a pass, but only into the arms of Mahu Tariki Whakalelu. As now Natta tries to scoop it up. Can't quite get his hands underneath the ball. And another turnover here for Tonga, and that probably sums it up for Tonga. Just far too many errors to really make a contest of things in the second half.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate because, you know, once they're getting on the ball, they are creating the opportunities, but it's just not coming off for them, and those errors just are not helping either.
So wider still they go. Good touch made here from Puru. Hit the deck pretty hard here, Ireland. Still on the haunches there. I think that might be Foster who's down. Slowly but surely back onto his feet. Yeah, a little hobble too here. So that's something to keep an eye on moving forward here for Foster. In fact, it's Cillian Daly out there who now seems to be all right. Balance. Trying to squeeze through a gap. Morgan Tafia and Puru closed it very quickly. Less than 2 to go here. Ireland closing in on another victory in this tournament. They'll drop it down now, just shy of the 7. Lovely pass, and Dorenzi at the depth has a hat-trick.
Yeah, what a lovely try there. And we were talking about conditioning of the defence. Look, Ireland are, you know, playing around in the middle a little bit there, and then they look to go to that link channel, and it is paid off. The gap is there. And yeah, lovely score there. Really well read from Ireland's attacking team on the field there.
Great stuff from Dorenzi on the spot once again. 3 tries in what's been a low-scoring contest is nothing to sneeze at. And now Tonga looking to finish with a consolation try here and build towards their next match. Tupou drops it down. Davison takes off. Davison squeezing through. This time they get it right, Tonga. They find Satani, and they'll collect their second try, but too little too late, unfortunately, for the Tongans.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. But again, this is a lovely little play. Just getting up, reading the defence. Just got them on the back foot. They're causing them to bite in. Just not Irish defence, just not quite there. Lovely score there from Tonga. Just a bit too much. Too little, too late.
So 30 seconds to go here. Ireland will run away with this one. It's Been a terrific second half showing from them. 3 tries to 1. They've sealed the deal here as Phelan has been exceptional for the Irish, brings it forward. Once more, upfield he goes. Balance, drops it down. Phelan now back to Balance, having a little dig at them. Never back on side was Masilla. And as a result, Balance goes all the way through. And perfect balance here between Phelan and Balance.
Yeah, that was a lovely response there. Just got the link on. Just a quick razor on the link with a step back. He's never on side. You can see the conversation being had there. And that is the final hooter. That is the klaxon going there.
So full time here in this men's open fixture. Ireland just too good for Tonga. They run out 6-2 victors. More action coming your way across multiple streams here today, thanks to Next Gen. You're enjoying all the coverage on the Touch World Cup England 2024, but full time here on Highfields Sporting Complex, field number 3. It's Ireland 6, Tonga 2.